So when you think about the past, here's what I want you to think about. I want you to use the past as a tool. Okay? Use it as a tool to learn from. Don't use it as a sledgehammer to beat yourself over the head with. All right? Because a lot of people do that. So write that down. Use your past as a tool to learn from. The other thing I want you to remember is that your past does not equal your future. And please write that down. Your past does not equal your future. Because if it did, none of you would be in this room right now. What you decided at some point in the last year or two is, I want to do something different. I'm not happy with the direction my life's going in. I want to change it. You guys have made a huge step in the right direction. And I don't know if you were forced to do it. I don't know if your parents got you to do it. I know someone said their brother was in the program. Marcus, your brother was in the program. Janae gave me some background on why she's in the program. But at some point, you made a decision that you're going to move forward. You're not going to think about the past. You're going to move forward, and that's very important. So again, your past does not equal your future. And your past is about perception. When I say perception, does that make sense to people? Like, I don't perceive my past as this terrible childhood I had. Right? There's those parts of it, and like I said, I take those bad parts, I use them as a tool to learn from. Make sure I don't make the same mistakes. And then the other part of it, which is also perception, is my perception of my childhood was it was awesome. I mean, we had a great time. That's what I think about. You know, those are the pictures I have at my house. Those are also the things I learned from moving forward. Is I took all the good stuff I learned from my parents and from my childhood, and I used that with my kids and my family. So the past can be used in both ways. Any questions? Does anyone want to share anything? Hey, this is kind of what I went through, and now I'm here. If you want to, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not going to call on you. It can be very private. Yes?
Do your niece who became your sister know that she's originally y'all niece?
She does now, yes. And she knew it probably when she was 12 or 13. And the piece I left out was, when my mom passed away, my dad quickly got remarried to someone that we really didn't get along with. So that made it really tough on my sister because we were all the way at college. But what I said to her about 2 years ago was, she goes, don't you remember when I was 14 and blah, and she was going off. I said, you're 33. and no, I don't remember that when you were 14 and the time our stepmom said something mean to you. I'm sorry. I don't remember it. She had bottled all this stuff up. I mean, she carried it with her like some heavy, heavy baggage. And she's now learning, and she's had some therapy to help her kind of get herself out of that. But it's all about the past. And has anybody in here ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite? Right? Remember Uncle Rico? Right? Uncle Rico lived in the past. Napoleon, you ever wish it was 1987 Napoleon? I mean, it's hilarious, but there's people like that. This guy, his glory days were high school, man, and he's probably in the movie, 35, 40 years old? And all he wants to do is throw the football over the mountain. He has a video camera out in the front yard filming himself throwing through the tire. I mean, it's hilarious. And we'll joke about Uncle Rico at my house. My kids think that movie's hilarious. But that's what a lot of people do. They live in the past. And you can't do that. You got to live in the future. Yes?
For the people who live in the past, do you feel like therapy is their only way to kind of get out of that way of thinking?
I don't know, because I'm not a therapist and I wouldn't claim to be. I mean, I think that for some people it's just the way they think. You know? And usually it's because they don't have goals. I know my dad, for the last 10 years he was living, all he thought about and talked about was the past. And that's because and I think, this is my opinion, he didn't have anything on the calendar. He didn't have anything to look forward to. So all he thought about was the past. And I kept trying to get him engaged in stuff, and he wouldn't. Jeanette?